Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Welch, aka ENFP Hoops, and this is the Atlanta Dreamin' Pod. We'll be going all off season long, and then obviously throughout the season, discussing any moves that happened during the off season, and then all the way up to pregame and postgame. So I just want to jump right into it, Amber. What do you think of Danielle Robinson, first of all? Like, what do you think she brings to the roster? I've shared my opinion a little bit, got a chance. I didn't get a chance to really hear yours. Like, what's your initial impression of Robinson?
Well, I really think that she's a good piece for as far as having like a veteran guard. Um of the I really dig her shooting. I feel like, she's she's a if that's what we were looking for, I think we got it.
Yeah, like I have mixed feelings. Like, I love Robinson as a player. Like, I'm a fan of her game with the Fever, uh, but not as like a prominent point guard role. Like, I feel like she would be either a good backup point guard or just insert throughout the lineup like we did with our guards last season, where they played in different positions depending on what lineup Coach Wright wanted to bring in. Uh, my opinion, like, if we stick with Airy and Robinson, to me, that means like we're fine with having another season like last year. Like, our younger players like Ryan, Nas, and Airy, like, they'll take the next step in their development. We'll add like 2 or 3 more draft picks to the foundational core and just really try to set ourselves up for 2024. If we want to compete this season, then I think there has to be a move for Robinson to be the backup on a contending team. We would use Airy in a trading piece. Like, I just don't see us contending with this point guard group, like where we're like a real threat. Like, yeah, just
Yeah.
like I feel like if we don't make a trade in the next week before like teams can start negotiating with free agents, I don't think we're going to be like a top tier destination yet with just what's in place right now. What are your thoughts on that, or
I
what you want
agree.
for this season?
I agree because like I'm in the mind of you try to go almost into a win now situation. That's just me. I'm always for it because I always feel like almost every W team is a couple of moves away from potentially being a champion. That's just my opinion. So if I feel like Atlanta could go out and do it, like they have some pieces that could potentially be, you know, could potentially be what we need to push for the playoffs and potentially for a championship. I mean, it would be better if this was just the first domino.
Exactly my thoughts.
Yeah. if this if this is just the first domino, then bravo. But if it's not, and this is what you're gonna roll with, which judging from what Erica Willis said, that might be what it is, and I hope not. I would hope it's just the first domino and that she's just a trade piece that they collected.
Yeah, yeah, just don't know what to expect next. And uh, yeah, just think about the timing. Like, yesterday's trade happened literally the day after Alicia Gray requested for a trade. So I'm wondering if it's Atlanta like thinking like, okay, we're gonna bring someone of this caliber in. We want this player in our roster for like trying to take the next step, or if it was more for Indiana making the move and trying to enter the Alicia Gray sweepstakes and say, hey, look at all this cap space we have. If we get her, we would be able to make other moves on top and everything. So it's just going to be really interesting to see what happens next, because we have 2 first-round picks
Yeah.
to be able to leverage, the 3rd overall pick and the 8th overall pick to use. So What do you think it would take to draw Alicia Gray in? Like, what are you willing to give up with getting a season of her? Or would it require her agreeing to extend before we give up any pieces? Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, if I was going to bring in Alicia Gray and know that she's going to sign to an extension, I would definitely be willing to part with the 8th pick, maybe even the 3rd, just because I feel like if we know that she's going to be there long term, throw it. I mean, it is what it is.
I completely agree with you. Yeah. If she extends, I'm willing to do that 3rd overall pick too. Like, it would be a really good player, obviously, at that higher level. But if you're bringing in someone like Alicia, like you're getting closer to being like a prominent, like top 5 team. Like, bring someone in like that, and it will hopefully lead to other players wanting to sign with us too. So I agree. I think the 3rd overall pick is a good asking price if she agrees to an extension. Now, if she doesn't, for one season, what would you be willing to give up for one season? She wants to see what the Dream are like first before committing. Like, what would be the difference in what you're willing to give up? And is there anything additional that you would want back in return from
them? That's a good question, because looking at the roster, I'm not for like a 1-year rental. Ooh, possibly. It's tricky because it's very tricky, because if you're looking at the pieces that we have that's under contract, you kind of want to keep most of it, if not all of it, because I feel like it's a good building base. But if it's just a 1-year rental, I'm gonna be as stingy as possible.
I'm glad we're of similar opinion.
Because there's no way I would give up more than 1 draft pick if I'm only getting her for a year. I would give up the 8th pick, but the 3rd pick is it's a non-negotiable. It's not happening.
Okay, that's completely fair. What I brought up like yesterday was something that I think the Dallas Wings would just say no to right away. But if they want the 3rd overall pick, I would want someone that has shown potential already, and we would get beyond this season. So I would ask for a walk on top of that. I would be like, okay, we'll give you the 3rd overall pick, maybe even our 15th overall pick too, and then maybe the next season, like, we can do what we did with the Mystics, where whichever pick is better, they get something like that. And then we get Alicia and a walk back, just in case Alicia walks. We get someone that meets our potential, like our positional need with her in the lineup. Like, and I really liked her game overseas. Like, I want her to improve in the paint, like her strength and like just imposing her will, but like she was draining threes. Like, it's incredible. Someone her size that is so comfortable with her jump shot. So yeah. Do you think Dallas would go along with that trade, or what are your thoughts?
Heck no. Heck no, they would never give up a walk. They will never give up a walk. I think if they're going to trade one of their bigs to us, it will be Charlie Collier. That's the only big I think they would be willing to part with, because, I mean, things haven't worked out so far. I mean, at this point in the game, I think she wants out. So if we're gonna give up that 3rd, hey, we're gonna have to negotiate, and it's probably gonna be that we take Collier if it was that scenario.
And she's someone that I think, if they're put in the right situation, I don't know. I don't think you just get a double-double in your debut and it's a fluke. I don't get why she's gotten so little playing time. Like, I know they're stacked, but it just makes me more frustrated with like WNBA roster construction rather than at the Dallas Wings themselves. But if she's in a backup center role for us, like, the potential is there. Like, another trade I was thinking about with the Wings, and now it's irrelevant with us getting a point guard, but I thought of adding Ty Harris I thought she
Yo.
was someone that showed like a lot of potential. Like I would be willing to do the 3rd overall pick with that, and then it's Ty and Aerie competing for who gets the starting role. Like that would have been interesting to me, but I think that's out of the window with Robinson. And I don't know if they're willing to get rid of her, because right now it's just Burton and Harris for them. Like, yeah, but they are someone else that requested a trade, I believe, out of Dallas. I think it was her and Alicia that wanted out. So,
well, this is the thing. I'm gonna pose this back to you.
Okay.
So since we know that Alicia wants out,
yeah,
and Ty possibly wants out, because I believe she did have some, was a little disgruntled. I mean, the acquisition of Robinson it could be a good move for us moving forward, but potentially if there's no trade, no trade rules on her, possibly moving her. So
sorry, continue.
Yeah, to pull in like a Ty Harris, maybe. I mean, I feel like Ty has a lot of potential because she's a great playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I really would love to see her blossom in a new environment, because I don't think that Dallas does weigh her above Veronica Burton at this point in
I was getting that opinion too, even though like Ty had some really good games where they just completely took over.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, if I'm a WNBA GM, I'm asking what's up and what's the asking price, because I feel like she has the potential to be a top guard in the league if she's just given the right situation. And I feel like
I would agree. They're more the playmaking point guard that I've been talking about, that
exactly
I've been looking for. So I don't think they would accept Robinson. But sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, if I feel like if she was to be under a Coach Wright system, I feel like it would be a great situation for her. I really do. I just feel like that would be a nice fit.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a nice fit. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, the Robinson, I don't think I think they would just slam the phone down. Like they're not taking on that 155,000 cap hit that Robinson has, and it's only for one season. And I'm okay with it. Like, I didn't have time to put together one of my crazy cap things. I'll post it on Twitter tomorrow once I get it done. But I have another one that I brought up yesterday that I haven't brought up to you, and I'm gonna bring up in a second. But
okay,
yeah, I would like Ty too.
I don't know how we do it, but I feel like she would be such a good fit for us, though.
I don't know.
It would be a natural fit.
I've seen enough of Ty, like if they've gotten enough of an opportunity to where we would do a 1-for-1 swap of Aerie and Ty. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Because
Aerie's had a lot more minutes.
I'm investing in Aerie, so I just don't feel like we should just give her up this early. I feel like she has another gear. So if we were to really give her somebody that's a veteran, and this situation would be perfect for her if Robinson stays. But I really want Ty Harris.
Me too. It could be fun.
Yeah,
I think they could feed off each other. Like I just, like you said, it's an interesting situation of what would be the asking price, because there's games where they've taken over and really shown their potential. Like I love their passing ability and love the games I've seen overseas, but with not as many opportunities as W fans would have liked to see from them, like what would they want? And yeah, that's where I don't know. I don't know if I'd be willing to give up a first rounder by itself. And there's not roster players that I think the Wings would be interested in from us that I would be willing to part with. So it's just a tricky situation. But yes, Dan Padover is a maestro. So yeah, I trust his yeah, his decision making, obviously, with how he was able to build the aces. So like, he knows what he's doing. I'm just curious if the trade comes for Alicia, if he's willing to speed up his plan to try to make us really competitive now, or if he's going to stick with what he said when he did the initial press conference, that was going to be a couple seasons and then we would be in game. So,
yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting going forward, because I do definitely believe that Padover has something planned. He doesn't show his hand, but I feel like something big is coming. He's working on something.
That's
crazy.
What I'm hoping too. I feel it, and I don't know if it's just my longing for the dream to be really competitive again, or if there is something there. And yeah,
we're due. We're due for it. We're due for a big season.
I think so too.
It's been so long. Oh, I see somebody in the chat said Skylar Diggins.
and that was actually going to be my next topic. So I have not heard from anybody official, but I have spoken to a couple different WNBA writers outside of Dream Following. Like, they're just moving from an outsider, and spoken to people in other circles that think the Dream might be setting up for a trade like this with Skylar Dream Smith. That's going to be my copyright t-shirt idea I come up with. Instead of the Diggins, it's going to say Dream. So just putting that out there. But this is the one type of trade I would accept for Aerie if we get a guaranteed extension on Skylar Diggins Smith. If we get her for 3 to 4 years along with Ryan Howard, I saw the fit last season for the Mercury, and I still see it now. They love, like, the Arizona area loves Aerie McDonald with the Final Four run they did, so they already want her. And this season and next season, they don't have any picks until the third round. So I think there's, like, they want to at least have some prospects in the cupboard. And, like, I would honestly be willing to do Aerie McDonald, the 8th overall pick, and the 15th overall pick, and maybe even our second rounder for the following season, and we get Skylar Diggins Smith if we get her on a guaranteed extension that she's going to be with us long term. Even if it's just a half a season this season, I would take her and let Robinson take the driving seat for a little bit until she's ready, and then pick up someone like Clarendon or Dangerfield to be the backup in the meantime. Would you take that trade, or would you change anything about it and getting someone of that caliber?
It's depending on how desperate they are to get rid of her. Because, like, me personally, I feel like that would be a decent return because, like, they could just get nothing next year. Because she can walk.
I don't think she's coming back. Like, it did not. I don't think so either. Like, I don't think it was just the pregnancy. I know the BG thing was just stressful. I can't imagine what that was like on the team and organization. So, just again, can't imagine. But I just feel like there's something more. It was happening the previous season too, where just things between her and DT are not right. Yep, someone brought it up just now. Yeah, so yeah. So I think... like, even if it cost us not making the playoffs, like having to wait until July or August to get her, it would be worth it, in my opinion, if we're able to have her play in the following few seasons, because she is still playing on an elite level. She's one of the best point guards in this game. She drives me nuts whenever I'm playing against her, but I would love I would love those mocking facial expressions and everything. I would love to have them in a Dream uniform. They would become endearing to me so fast.
I agree, but I've been a Skylar fan since she was at Notre Dame.
Me too. And, like, that's what brought me into women's basketball. Like, her and Devereaux Peters, I love them.
Oh, yeah, I love Devereaux Peters as well. But yeah, they had some great teams, and I just feel like once she got her footing in the W, I was like, see, this is the Skylar that we grew to love, and she's only gotten better since then. So that's a scary thing. If I see her, if we're able to manifest her in a dream uniform, I'm telling you, season tickets are like
Yeah.
that's a
No,
no-brainer. They would
and I'm
go
going to
through the
bring this
roof.
up. Speaking of you like bringing up season tickets, how long until we have to get a bigger arena? Because this is not going to be a long
Man,
term plan. It can't be.
oh, it
So,
can't be. Because
so what do you think? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
let me tell you. So every single like from 21 to 22, the way that the it's it went from like half full to like almost full, like every single game within a year's time. This
Yeah.
year is going to be even worse, especially if we go if we make a run for the playoffs. If we make a run for the playoffs, that arena is going to be jam packed. Like we were like it was a total sellout at least the last few home games.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I was at most of those games, and let me tell you, that that arena is probably it holds maybe like what 3 to 5 thousand,
Yeah, I
and
think it's like 6,000 when I was viewing like attendance records, something like that. Not much.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that much. And then also when you looked at the when they had the stats for the WNBA, when they showed the attendance and they showed the capacity of all the seats that were taken,
Mm-hmm.
it was well over the average. It was like
No, some
88%,
of
I
those
want to
games,
say.
like I was literally getting chills with like
Yeah,
how electric the arena was just from
it
sitting at home
was.
and watching. So
Man,
yeah,
being there, it was a whole different ball game. Like it was nearly capacity every game. And it's a buzz in the air, I must say. It's definitely a buzz in the air, but bringing in somebody like a Skylar Diggins could really like blow the roof off. So they're gonna have to make some moves because that arena is gonna be way too small going forward.
yeah. And speaking of buzz, like I've only been to Atlanta a few times. I live in the Midwest, so I'm not as familiar with the area. But what do you think? Like, where do you see them playing? Like, yeah, I would obviously want to see them play in State Farm, but even if we don't do that, like, what do you feel about like Georgia Tech? Is that like, is their arena in like a good location where
It
they
is
come? Like, I'm just trying to think of other possibilities.
previously they did when they were well okay, so I want to say like around back around like 2018 when they
Mm-hmm.
had that big season. I think they were still playing in McCamish because at the time before they changed the name from Phillips to State Farm, I believe it was going under reconstruction, like on the inside. So, like the next year, I believe 2019, they did play there, but the attendance wasn't as good as it is now.
Because we stunk
Yeah, we
after
stunk
that.
really
Yeah.
bad. And then, 2020 happened, but they moved it out to College Park. But I feel like that would be a good location again because it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger
Yeah.
at Georgia Tech.
No, and I've seen like I follow the ACC a lot, so that arena looks like
Hmm.
it'd be good. I just didn't know the location. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's a
It's
great
in like
location.
a middle downtown where people would easily be able to get to it. So that
It would be
yeah,
very, very easy to get to. So
I
yeah,
know
that
it's
would
too
be.
late for this season, but
Hmm.
even if we don't like, let's just say like it's a similar decision making as last season where we use our draft picks. Like we're still going to be bringing some prominent names in, like Diamond Miller or Haley Jones with the third pick, and then you go the eighth pick. I told you over and over I like Tayana Jackson a lot out of Kansas, like adding to that center depth. Then
Hmm.
whoever we get out of 15, which there's a lot of possibilities there. There's just going to be more buzz, and then like just once those players develop,
Hmm.
it's either to me, it's either we're either going to be a place that free agents want to go this season, or it's going to happen next season. Like the floodgates are going to happen. It's just a matter of if Pat Over wants to pull the trigger now, making us that team this season, or if he wants
Hmm.
to develop the players we get in the draft and yeah, go for it next season.
See, next season, I don't know if we need to wait till next season. Honestly, I really don't think we should. I feel like we should go for it this season. I feel
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
yeah, we will
Yeah,
have to do a lot of shuffling. We'll have to do a lot of shuffling, but at the end of the day, I feel like trying to go after it now secures a way better future than trying to wait till next year.
I agree. And something
That's
you
just me.
mentioned earlier, like it only takes like a couple moves. Like, unfortunately, we're still at a point where there's only 12 teams. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, the talent pool is ridiculous on what you're potentially able to bring in. Like, it just takes a couple moves and you move ahead of other teams that don't re-sign those players or make a high caliber move. So, yeah, I don't know. Like right now, always a few months before the season, like it started last season. I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to give Pat over patience, da da da. Then we traded for that first overall pick, and I'm like, oh no, I need to see Ryan and playing playoff basketball. I want to see more
Mm-hmm.
moves. And then I was sad when we didn't pick up a center. So right now, I am in that stage where I'm like, yeah, you know what? If it takes another year, I'm cool with it. If we're like a fringe playoff team, that would be fine. And when we get closer to the season, I'm like, no. I need to see
Exactly.
Ryan playing in playoff atmosphere. Like she is just such an
Man,
electric player. I just can't
oh
imagine like the emotion and intensity. It would be just us playing playoff basketball. Oh, like
man, it's been so long since I've been to a playoff game. I
yeah,
need to go to a playoff
yeah,
game.
I'm sure.
I
And
need it.
and
Oh
going to
my
the
god.
comment about the fever, mixed feelings on that. I think we have a different complexion than them. Like I feel like they had more veterans that would have been better on like a different team. Like just their makeup of like a ton of young players and a couple veterans. It wasn't going to go right, and they were just in like
Yeah, they were
a
just in a
rut
cycle.
for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Just how that layout was. I don't think we're the same. Like I don't think we'll regress from last season. Like doing the same strategy because Ryan is obviously going to improve. I think
Mm-hmm.
Nas is going to add more of a jump shot this season. But if we don't make it, like the max we would get is maybe sixth. That's like the peak that I can see. But
And
I just think and
yeah,
hope that there's something more, like you were saying. I just want there to be more.
yeah, there's definitely like I just don't believe that this is like the move. You know what I'm saying? Like us taking on that all that salary, I just don't feel like that's going to be like set in stone. I don't know. I don't know. But I definitely want that to be just the first piece of the like the domino effect.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, I see more what you're saying in the comment. Yeah, like it's easy for those picks to eventually be wasted. Like, let's say
Mhm.
we develop those players, they're going to be taking up roster spots because we're going to get picks the following season.
Mhm.
It becomes like an overflow of talent that we need to just make some tough decisions rather than just investing in who's going to actually be in our future. It's just another year punting. So I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just tricky. And then another feeling I have is like I don't want to waste the last season of Cheyenne Parker. I really don't. Like she had
Exactly.
like
That
if
is
her
my
3-point ball was falling at the
oh
level
my
it was
god.
the 2 seasons prior to this one,
Mhm.
she would have been a flat out all-star guarantee. And I think it's
Absolutely.
going to happen this season. Like yeah, I'm definitely calling for Ryan and Cheyenne and Alicia or Skylar Diggins Smith, whatever one we get, to go to the All-Star game. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking because knowing that Cheyenne is like on the last year of her contract, I'm pretty sure that she wants to win. I mean,
oh definitely, she's
yeah, the
getting
money
later in
was
her career.
nice.
Yeah,
Exactly. The money was nice. It was well deserved. But like with the disappointment of 2021, I'm sure that has a bad taste in her mouth still.
yeah,
2022
and
was a nice building block. But like this year has to be the year because she has something to prove too.
I
Cause
agree.
like
No, this is gonna
with
be a
her,
contract season. Yeah.
yeah, and with her coming from Chicago and then seeing Chicago win the
Oh, no kidding.
next season, it's like because she was one of the building blocks that helped them get to that point. The only reason I
Definitely.
feel like she really didn't sign back to Chicago is because it couldn't work salary wise. She
I
was due
agree.
for a big contract. They
100%.
couldn't pay it out.
Yeah.
So I feel like she got a fire in her gut, and she's a great leader. So I feel like going forward, they need to make moves to win now.
I
So you
agree.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know, like the first, it's hard to even count the rookie season because she was out for so long with her pregnancy. Like, and that season was just an absolute mess. Like last season was the first one where we truly see her, and it just feels like it would already be too soon if this is the last season we get her after this one. I don't know if we'll be able to core her after, but there may be other players, like if there's a trade that we may want to core after. So I don't know. I don't want to waste, as we discussed, any Ryan seasons, any season that she's playing, because she's going to be an eventual legend and someone that's remembered. And I don't want to waste the season of Cheyenne. So
exactly.
Yeah. So are there any other names that you would want us to trade for?
The trade. Let's see.
Like I've heard rumors on Jonquel, but I
don't know if that would be. Well, I'm not gonna say. Let me reframe that. I'm gonna say I would love for her to be in an Atlanta Dream jersey. That would be a dream, literally. No pun intended. But do I think with the pieces that we have we could do it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I just don't know if Jonquel and Cheyenne would mesh. Yeah, I don't know if Jonquel would like it here either. Like, yeah, I don't feel like it would be a good fit and fit our play style either. But
yeah, because she just like it would have to all run through her, and with us having Ryan who needs the ball in her hands, Cheyenne needs to be fed the ball. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, they need to go someplace where like the front court is like the vocal point of where it's being fed. Like I don't know, like in the playoffs, I just felt like a lot of frustration, especially from her, that she wanted the ball more and she wasn't getting enough. She wanted to take over games. So,
oh god,
yeah, my personal opinion. I said this in the spaces, but I think she gets traded to Seattle. Like I just really think the Storm want to impress Vandersloot to be able to come back home and sign with them. Like they want to make a big move. Like, hey, we're still trying to be title contenders. Here's Jewel. Here's Jonquel. You're joining something that's going to be something prevalent and everything. And I think Breanna Stewart. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think she's leaving. I honestly think Stewie is leaving the Storm. I think she wants to try somewhere else.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the year when Chelsea Gray re-signed with LA only for 1 year, only to go to Vegas after just because they couldn't make the salaries work or something. Something kept her from signing in 2020.
Yeah, something fishy.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then her moving the next year.
Yeah,
like that kind of reminds me of that situation because I'm more than certain that she's gonna sign with New York. And I feel like that would be the team to beat, honestly, if that happens. But I don't know. Like, if Jonquel was to go to Seattle, that actually might not be such a bad move. Because they
that's what I'm thinking. Because they don't have anybody.
Yeah, they wouldn't have anybody. So definitely, I feel like shoot, if they could make it happen, make it happen.
Yeah, no,
that would be a nice move.
I have a little different opinion on where Stewie's going to go. I've heard the Minnesota rumors, and she would definitely fit a hole there. But I think that she was one of like one of the people that's like really close to BG, like just the time that they spend in the Olympics. They like I don't know. I think the Mercury tried to recreate what they were trying to do with Tina and having just a monster front court where they have like just multiple stars. I'm curious if someone will lower their salary or both. Like BG and or Brianna Stewart or Taurasi adjust their contracts so they're able to just try to make something that could be a lot of fun and entertaining to watch. Like I don't know. It's probably not going to be right, but that's my prediction on where she lands with
that's
her
a
previous
thought.
rival, the Mercury.
Yeah, that's a thought. But I don't know. I just feel like everything that's been brewing for the last like year or so, I feel like the move to New York is a no-brainer for her. But it will be interesting to see where she actually lands because I don't think it's Seattle anymore. I just feel like she just needs to. I feel like she wants to leave the nest and go broaden her horizon somewhere else. And I feel like if she was to move to New York, it will probably, that's the team everybody's gonna be gunning for.
And
no doubt.
Great question on if the Lynx have cap space. So here's my theory on what it would take for the Liberty or Lynx to be able to sign her and be the competitive team they want to be. Not necessarily just fit her, but be like a full-on contender. I would want the Minnesota Lynx to get rid of the Natalie Achanwa contract or the Liberty to get rid of the Natasha Howard contract. If one of those teams do that, then I think they know they're getting Stewie, and it gives them cap space to both get Stewie and then add another piece as well where they're not just completely cap deprived. Because the Liberty especially would be tight, and then the Lynx, they're not just one player away. Stewie would definitely make them a playoff team, but if they want to compete for another title, I just think like they would want to make other moves, and just having that contract off of there, it
would have to happen. It would have to happen because I remember, this is no shade to Natalie Achanwa. I really like her, but
I like her as a person a lot. Yeah.
Yes, as a person, she's great. I love watching her on IG. I think she's like the cutest pregnant person. But baby, that contract was so, they overpaid for her a lot.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
A lot.
And now she fell out of favor with that organization too, it felt like last season. So
yeah, definitely. Because like it just didn't, it didn't gel. I don't know exactly what Reeve was thinking when she signed like all those contracts. It's just like it sounded like it would be something and it just never came together. And somebody said she overpaid Powers and McBride too. Yes, absolutely. That whole trio, like I have no clue what
I think they were just. I think they were just trying to recreate the past where, like, these players have shown potential. They're going to exceed that and have us be continue the dynasty again. Like, I just think they felt like they played a role and they were going to play an even bigger role in just like keeping the glory going, and it just did not work out. I agree as well. They gave too much commitment to those players as well. Even though I'm higher on Powers and McBride, they're still, they're not like championship building blocks by themselves. Like it would take not someone like Stewie. No. So
that's. I still don't think they land her, even if they do move around some things. But I mean, it's a thought. It's a thought because I feel like I don't know if I like the fit necessarily with Nafisa and Stewie, because they would have to keep Fee if they want to do something. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that fit necessarily.
And Plum, she doesn't become a free agent until 2025, and by then, like our future is going to be established, and we have our point guard, whoever it is, and everything. It's going to happen. So
and I think she's never ever gonna leave Vegas.
I don't think so either. She loves it
because Vegas is they've literally been built to be a dynasty. So I feel like
and I talked about this in the spaces as well, and I want to hear your opinion. Do you think like Vegas is just on an entirely other tier now, and teams are just trying to get up to that level in free agency or trades? Like, do you think there's anybody on the same level right now that can compete with Vegas?
Well, currently, as like constructed, no.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
Do I think a couple of teams are like a piece away? Yes.
Yep. I'm of the same opinion, and I think Washington is definitely one of them.
Yeah. Washington, you know what? Washington is like always like that one little piece. They haven't figured out which one fits just yet. You know, they brought in Tina Charles a couple years ago, and that didn't quite pan out. But like that one piece, and I don't even know if it's at the 5 or if it's at the 3 or what. I don't quite know, but when they find out what it is going to be a wrap. I feel like.
And I heard from the Mystics, like Mystic fan base and like people that covered them, like they were just missing another consistent scoring threat. And it's sad that they didn't have the first overall. Oh, wait, they did. And then they traded it, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, but sorry to Mystic fans. I've already thrown a lot of shade before, but I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
But I will say I love Shakira Austin, and part of me was sad that she wasn't joining Atlanta with the film I saw. I knew she was going to kill it, so she's going to be there a long time. She loves that area. Like I'm really happy for her that she's in Washington after she got to play.
And it worked out really great.
So
I think we both won that trade. But I do have like a little bit of a little thing against Washington. I'm not gonna lie. We won't get into it on this episode.
Oh yeah,
sure. We won't get into it this time. But I'm definitely going to, one of these days, y'all will know why I have like a fiery hatred for them. But with all jokes aside, I do have like a lot of respect for like a lot of their players because I love EDD. I love her. I love Ariel Atkins. Like they are.
You didn't say Natasha Cloud. Hold on. Do you love her?
We're gonna skirt past that. We're gonna skirt past.
I've never heard someone that's on like a neutral base. Like either you like her or you dislike her. I have not seen a medium on Cloud because she does have a louder personality. So.
Hey, it's not just personality for me.
Okay.
But yeah. There's a reason. There's a reason. We'll get into it on another episode.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the pieces that they have. They will definitely need another scorer to put in between there because I don't feel like I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, what it's gonna take, but it's coming. Because with Tebow as the GM, he stayed on as the GM. He might have given up his coaching duties, but we'll see what he got up his sleeve.
I'm very curious. I do not think they stand pat. And EDD's hard like later in her career, and it's
Oh, I hate it.
You have to do a lot of load management. It's just hard. Like I just really think she needs to be like the 1A 1B situation, and their roster is not there yet where they can be playing at close to the same level as when she's out or on the bench. They need to add someone else that, like, obviously it's hard to exactly match EDD, but at least come close to what she can bring.
Yeah.
So
that's very difficult to find because that's like one of those players that she's one of the greats, whether she retires to tomorrow or 3 years, 4 years from now, like she's gonna be hard to replicate. Like she's just one of those players.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think she's. I'm gonna say she's done after next season, not this season, but the next one. Like she worked way too hard to get back into game shape and come back after the previous injury. I don't know. I still think there's a fire. I think she wants to try to win one more. If they won this season, I think she would retire. But if they come close this season, like at least show like they make the necessary roster moves and they show a lot of players want to come back, I could see her playing up to 2 seasons too. Like I just really think she wants another title. And
Yeah.
Don't blame her.
She's definitely a competitor. Like the fact that she was able to pull herself back into game shape is like phenomenal in and of itself. So like I it's definitely a fire there. Definitely, because it's been a couple of times where they come really, really close and didn't make it. Even though they have that one championship, I know they feel like they should have more than that. Period. So we're gonna see what happens this season. Hopefully, they're able to pull in a big fish. I feel like they have, the location and the roster to do it. It's just a matter of, getting somebody there. We'll see.
And one of these days, we will not do it now, but we have to just talk about the lack of movement as far as expansion or just making any changes to like roster or cap. Like we're going to need to have a full conversation on that because it is so frustrating.
Absolutely.
It's frustrating and happy at the same time. Like bittersweet's the word I was looking for with women's hockey and women's soccer getting all this attention. Like there's some prominent figures becoming part of the ownership, drastic changes in pay that's happening for them and benefits. And I know and I know I'm biased. Like I'm a huge WNBA fan, but I just feel like we're on an entirely another level with like the personalities and players that we have and like the excitement with fans. And I feel like it's worth a lot more than what's going on right now. And it's really, really frustrating. I just think it could be so much more right now. And it's just being hindered. So I'm not going to talk about that full on now.
Don't get me started.
Because that would be another hour segment.
Oh, absolutely. Because I don't trust that lady.
No,
I don't know where that 75. No. Look, whatever that.
Apparently, it went to League Pass and then Coinbase. That's the two places it went, and purses. Yeah. I heard rumors it went towards purses too.
I'm telling you, man, because like I heard on the spaces Ari was on somebody's space. It was. I want to say it was.
I missed it. Yeah. So
it was. That was a great spaces because she really broke it down and talked about what the money was allocated to. But I mean, I still, as a fan, like knowing those things, it helps. But still, at the same time, I feel like the ground is fertile to move forward with some plans. At least some plans. Like, can we get something like just a little nugget? Like, that's what I have such a frustration about as a fan, that there's not enough like little nuggets that we get, to give us like that, excitement. Cause like it's almost like we get let up to like get let down, and I hate that.
And I love this WNBA like fan base community. Like it's there. Like if they invested into it. Like we didn't even get access to all 3 jerseys for the next release. Like the last release, we don't have the heroine jerseys. Like, and personally, like at first, like when the jersey release happened, like my favorite jersey was the black and blue for the Dream. I really like that. But over time, like like our white jersey just like pops. I like the font. I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like we have the best heroine jerseys in the league. Like I want it so bad, and it's not available.
Don't have it. And that sucks because like I have so many jerseys. Like I picked up so many jerseys because I just love the way they look. So like that would be a great thing going forward to like get some of the heroine jerseys out there.
I agree. So, and really quick, let's end on one random topic. Speaking of jerseys, what color scheme would you want the next Dream jersey to be?
Ooh, that's a good question. What colors? Cause like I feel like it should be like a little different color scheme than the actual. Like I would love to see like a flip flop type of vibe. Like as far as the colors, because I feel like
I think we're going in the same direction as I'm thinking. Let's see.
Yeah. Cause like we could go plenty different directions, especially like with us being in Atlanta. like the color scheme could be like some of anything, because like honestly, the other merch that we have is like it's so dope. And it
It
has like
is.
none of the colors. It's like, yo, it would be kind of cool to have a blackout jersey. I'm not even gonna lie. It'd be cool to
Yeah,
have a
some of the
blackout
chat black
jersey.
and red. I think that's too close to the. I don't know, but
I would rather it be like a maybe just like I don't
maybe
know.
even black and light blue. I don't know. I'm fine with us doing things along with the Hawks. Like I don't follow WNBA, so but I just want to be something separate though. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
have like too similar of a color scheme. I think black and red is just cutting it too close on that, in my opinion.
Well, honestly, they have this the Hawks have this their city jerseys are usually like they have like a peach like scheme on them. And I really do like that. I don't know if I wanted to, cross reference them because they're really not like brother and sister franchises right now. So I'll like biting off of that wouldn't really be, I don't think that would be the move, but like some type of blackout jersey would be kind of dope.
No, it would be.
Yeah,
No,
it would be
I'm
kind of
definitely
dope.
on
Yeah.
top of it. Me personally, I want to go back. Like I don't know, I really like the light blue jerseys we had. They were just unfortunately really bland in the logo. But I think there's something unique and crisp that we can do with that color scheme. I would be kind of interested, like a light blue and red, if we're able to pull something off with that. But yeah, I do think another jersey release. I don't think it's happening this season. I think it will happen next year. I think they want to do one more year of these current jerseys. But yeah. And I really held back and having another full-on talk and what I want for the WNBA's future when you said the brother-sister comment. So I'm going to save that for another time as well. So we'll plan something in the next, once like free agency dies down, like so maybe sometime in like mid-March or something, we'll have a discussion on where we want the league to go, because we both have strong opinions on that. So that's something I'd like to do. But
absolutely.
Any last things you want to talk about before we head off?
Not really. I want complete chaos, going
me
forward.
Too. Definitely.
I really can't wait to see where everybody goes. I'm ready to buy new jerseys.
Yep.
I'm like I've been holding off on a couple of players that are current free agents that I want jerseys of. I want all the chaos, like burn it all down. Elmo,
Please.
Flames, meme. Like that would be a nice insert. I'm gonna have to add that to the, we're gonna figure that out. But like,
we'll have. What is?
Oh yeah,
is that Elmo in the background of that?
It
gift?
is
Like, is
Elmo
on Flames? Okay, that's what I thought.
That's one of my favorite memes. We're going to make it happen.
So we'll have that in the background if we have a big enough move. That will just be the background for this. But yeah. So we'll chat again. I'm hoping that we are chatting again within this week. That we've made another trade, because I don't know, like doing it earlier on. To me, I think we're trying to set up for something bigger, and we want to make one more big, like major blockbuster trade before we enter free agency and the dominoes fall from there. So that's what I'm hoping. I know you're hoping for it too. So hopefully we're back on here within the next few days going over the next big trade. But we always do, like I'm trying to do spaces on a regular basis, and then we do something on here. So you can get us on both platforms, and then we'll just be doing that throughout the off season randomly. And then when games start, doing regular content with that. So just super excited, and you've already been a lot of fun to talk to, Amber, and just can't wait to see what happens next. Ooh,
yes,
okay, I like that. Yes, trade for a guard, sign Azare. Yes. Anybody who follows me, I love Azare. Like, if she comes to the dream, there's going to be some people blocking me. I know there are. So.
Oh, absolutely. I won't be one of them. I will be ecstatic. Please make it happen. Pat over. I'm counting on you, man.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I don't think we get her unless we make the trade. Like, she's someone that wants to be on a contending team. She's not willing to drop down to someone that's in between phase or rebuilding.
Exactly, because Mama got a
championship. Show Pat over. Show us that we're a contending team. So
Oh, it's
show the
gonna
fan
happen.
base that you're ready to contend. We're ready to see it. So
Exactly.
all right. Well, you have a good night. Thanks everyone who tuned in and commented, and hopefully we'll be back on here soon. Have a great night.
All right. Good night.